Wait. Just wait. Look, here, look. Just look. These are my actual Facebook analytics from the last episode of The Bright Side. If I can just get some of you to hold on past 16 seconds, it will be an amazing victory for all of humankind. Okay, that's possibly overstating it, but my mom will be so happy. Let's take a look on the bright side. Show of hands, who's still here? That is fantastic. Hello, my friends, and welcome to The Bright Side. I'm your host, Bob Herzog, and I wasn't kidding about my mom. She just said earlier this week, you know, a lot of people are watching your little show, and I said, yes, they are, especially the first 16 seconds. That's where we're killing it. After that, it gets a little rough. Attention spans, annoying host. It's a battle, but the stories are worth it. Now, joking aside, with all of the hurdles a video of this length faces in our click, swipe world, I'm just thrilled with where we are. I truly am. Even with that rather dramatic dip at the beginning, we still finish with thousands of people having watched from the very beginning to the very end of each episode, and that's all because you share. You share the video. Some of you are literally sharing. You're clicking right now. Almost 300 of you shared last week's episode. Most we've ever had. You put it on your page in some form or fashion, letting people know why you watch. Please keep doing that, and maybe we'll find even more happy folks at the end of that graph. Now, if this doesn't make you happy, I don't know what will. This is video courtesy of the Louisville Zoo, and the gorilla you see is Kindy. Like a toddler who gets an expensive toy for Christmas but opts for the container it came in, Kindy is having one heck of a time with that cardboard box. You can see her stick her whole body through that box, then grab right onto the rope, start swinging around whilst the box is still on her body. It's all part of what the zoo calls an animal enrichment activity. And it's important to give primates these enrichment activities. They're super fun for everybody. Can I? Oh, look! Here, I have to move closer to the teleprompter. Okay, so this next story is not one you'd normally see on The Bright Side, but the video is just so jaw-dropping that I had to bring it to you. In fact, you've probably already seen the video many times. Dude in North Carolina throws a bobcat, right? But I wanted to be sure you had seen the whole story. It's even wilder than you think. Here's Ellie Cosgrove.
Good morning.
It started out as a typical Friday morning.
I need to wash my car.
Happy and Christy We'd leaving their house to take their senior cat, Caroline Faith, to the vet. When Christy came out of their garage, she heard a growl.
I knew it was a cat because I know what a cat sounds like, but it sounded like a very angry cat.
So when Christy backs up to see what it is,
The face of this bobcat came around the corner of the car.
Christy tried to run between the cars to the street.
Bit my hand, and I kind of drug it with me, and it crawled up my back.
Christy's husband, Happy, heard the screams and immediately knew something was hurting his wife. He came running around the car.
I just remember seeing this face, and it was trying to bite her right there in the side of the neck. And so I shoved my arm in, and that's how I ended up with it like this. I'm holding this thing up. Oh, that's a bobcat! And at that point I say, oh my God, it's a bobcat. I really didn't know what it was.
Happy says as soon as he saw it was a bobcat, he knew something had to be wrong with the animal.
I knew that it had to have had something. And so I figured it was rabies.
The cat bit Happy 3 times while he was holding it.
And I could literally feel the tooth on my knuckle.
So he tried to get it as far away from him and his wife as he could.
I thought, I'll throw it this way, 2 options. One, it'll see an escape route and it'll take off, or it'll stop just a moment where I can get a good shot at it.
The cat then comes back in the direction of the house instead of to the woods, Happy finally shot the animal because he knew something was wrong with it. Tests later confirmed the bobcat had rabies.
In my head, I knew it had already attacked 2 people. If it attacked somebody else and I didn't do something, morally, it would have bothered me for a long time.
Christy and Happy say they are grateful they were together that morning.
He saved my life, and I don't know where I'd be or what sort of shape I'd be in right now had he not been here.
Is that crazy? Is that like one of the most crazy, intense things you've ever seen in your entire life? In fact, it's so intense that I feel like I need to go to a safe place. Like this here box. Boy, I feel better. But really, that whole thing was just so very intense. I feel like we need a beastie story that's a little less intense.
This is just absolutely amazing thing to see. It's like, you know you're back in the West when they shut down a major highway so some sheep can cross the road.
That's
you
the
know,
truth.
it's kind of it's surreal.
There's something you don't see every day, at least I don't. Every year, though, Idaho rancher Frank Schertz and his sheepdogs guide their flock into the foothills, blocking off an entire highway in the process. And as you can see, the ordeal draws quite the crowd. People gathering to see Frank get the flock out of there. More than 2,000 sheep were out there getting wrangled this year. Do you wrangle sheep? Shelby, is that right? Are they wrangling? Was that a wrangle? You heard the sheep? You rang? Anyway, it's quite a thing. A California teen, here's quite a thing, is making history, playing as the first line woman on her school's varsity football team. Becca Cook says she had no idea she's going to be making history. She just wanted to play some football. She says other students and moms constantly tell her they look up to her. And Becca admits it's a lot of hard work, but it has not stopped her.
I am smaller. These players are bigger, stronger, faster, and I have to work 10 times harder to get to the baseline of their strength.
Becca's last game of the season is this week. She says she knows a lot of the guys will probably cry, but she doesn't think she will. Next year, by the way, she's just off to college with a goal of becoming a trauma surgeon. Go get him, Becca. Nothing going to stop Becca. Hey, can we keep it on the gridiron for another story? And I'll tell you ahead of time, this is the story that made me cry this week. A Minnesota 6th grader and his classmates are celebrating their newfound fame after an awesome moment goes viral. Kevin Wallavand has the story behind the video.
Any time of the day at Detroit Lakes Middle School, you'll find 12-year-old Cale Hannes with a smile on his face and unending energy.
He's got a great personality, and this is normal. This is Cale every day. His peers love him. He's a great addition to our classroom all the time. So, yeah, we adore him. We love him.
While Cale's class always works to include him, there are times and activities when Cale just hangs out. But his friends turned the table on Cale after he told them a story.
It was actually a dream that I had.
Cale, who's always dreamed of being a football player, actually had a dream about it. And so his friends.
Okay, they hand me the ball, and then...
In a video, now viewed by millions over the weekend, made it happen. A priceless smile on Cale.
It was like super. It was like, I did it.
And an act of caring and compassion from middle schoolers.
It's an awkward age. It's a weird age. And I think sometimes we underestimate our own kids. And like I said, that was 100%. That was kid orchestrated. That was them being fun. They treat Cale like that every day.
Life for Cale started out rough. Born in Fargo, a preemie.
But we didn't get to hold him or nothing until after they evacuated the hospital.
The 2009 flood forced doctors at then Maricare to airlift Cale out of Fargo.
And then we found out where he was at in Sioux Falls.
Cale would later be diagnosed with cerebral palsy, but nobody has ever questioned his zest for living every day.
He is full of happiness, like all the time. I mean, if you're having a bad day, he will make somebody laugh, he will make somebody smile, and he will turn your day right around in a heartbeat.
Cale is a science and computer whiz, and he has big plans for himself. Today, we saw that grit and determination. Determination that'll make this viral video star, an MVP.
If you want to do something, do it.
Don't you love that? Do it. Do it. No excuses. Just do it. And I love that his buddies just help him. Love that kid. Okay, I have another cool kid for you, but I do want to warn you that kind of like the bobcat story, this is not one I would usually put in the bright side, but I think it's an important reminder, and the kid's super cute too. So a Florida boy is alive this morning, all thanks to skills he learned at the age of 2. Kyle Siegel saved himself from drowning last week in his family's pool. His mother says they're doing some home renovations, and as a result, the fence around the pool was removed, and Kyle's older brother accidentally left the door open that led to the pool, and out that door went Kyle.
We saw Kyle float to the top, roll on his back, and swim to the edge of the pool and get out, himself fully clothed. I know what could have happened. Like, that's when I get emotional. Like, I realize how bad it could have been. I mean, if we hadn't heard the splash and he hadn't had swim lessons, I don't know if he'd be here.
The CDC says unintentional drowning is one of the leading causes of death for children younger than 4. An important reminder, again, as we're getting into swimming season and all that kind of stuff, get those swim lessons in if your kids need them, if you need them. Hey, have you ever seen Schitt's Creek? Great show. I always worry when I say Schitt's Creek, though, that someone who hasn't seen Schitt's Creek might be thinking, he said, you know what creek? I'm not, though. I'm saying Schitt's Creek. Anyway, the crux of the show really starts with the idea that this family owns a town. Have you ever wondered if that kind of thing ever actually happens? Well, it does, and maybe this town could be yours. For $2.7 million, you can own the tiny town of Nipton, California, population 25. The town was slated to become a cannabis consumption destination for people looking to, really get away. But the idea went bust when the pandemic forced a foreclosure. The town's current owner believes there is a bright future for Nipton. 30 years ago, her late husband bought the town, hoping to revive it into a modern, green, and sustainable community, and she hopes a new owner will try something similar. So, Nipton, there you go. During this pandemic, many people have opted to work from home, some forced to work from home, some have opted to work from home, but especially those of a certain age because of the increased risk. But a 91-year-old nun in Westchester, New York is not one of those people. As Emily Druby reports, she's shown up every day ready to inspire.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, sister. Almost 10,000 good mornings for Sister Mary Stephen Healy at the Chelmsford, New York school. 55 years as the principal of Our Lady of Mount Carmel, nothing can stop her from being there for her students, not even a pandemic. Throughout the school year, with the threat of COVID looming, the 91-year-old still walked these halls daily because it's the place she knew she needed to be.
Well, I guess I have a lot of those moments when I really believe that, I'm in the right place at the right time.
It was a nerve-wracking sight for the students that love her.
I was kind of worried for her, to be honest. I didn't want anything bad to happen.
But it doesn't come as a surprise to those who know her, like Superintendent of Schools Michael Deegan.
A compassionate, devoted woman who frankly puts the needs of the children before the needs of anyone else, including herself.
Compassion. It's a word Sister Mary knows well. She spent 74 years with the Congregation of the Religious of the Divine Compassion.
No matter who you are, she just accepts you for who you are.
When I met her, I realized I was meeting somebody special.
She's like one of my best friends. She's just so loving and kind, and she has helped me throughout so many rough obstacles in my life.
Sister Mary doesn't realize how inspirational she is. Humble and self-effacing, she never talks about herself or her accomplishments. Instead, she praises her teachers and muses over how to help her students deal with the pandemic.
So many people tell you, oh, children are so resilient. Yes, they're resilient. But I can tell you from the lowest grade up, these children are very much affected by what has happened.
But her presence and strength through the storm has created a stability for these kids. One students tell me they hope to keep for a long time.
How long are you going to stay here?
Only God knows that. I can't predict that. But I think I'll know, and I think he'll help me.
In Elmsford, New York, Emily Drewby, Currents News.
How great was that? And on the off chance that didn't inspire you enough, how about this? Young love. That's inspiring, right? Well, a New Jersey couple is enjoying their time in quarantine together, and they're certainly spending a lot more of that time together. No more sneaking around for these two. Meg Baker has their story.
98-year-old Bill Biega and 91 Iris Ivers met years ago while playing bridge. They reunited at Applewood Retirement Home when Bill moved there after his wife passed.
We talked more and more. Iris, with her gorgeous smile and behaving really like a younger woman, we got much fonder and fonder of each other.
Then the virus hit.
Locked us all down. We were not allowed to leave our apartments.
You were sneaking around, weren't you?
We were sneaking. He'd come to my apartment, I'd go to his.
Then they got caught.
Just like I was a college guy sneaking into the women's dorm.
Great. They had to make a choice, stay apart or move in together. They chose to quarantine at Bill's.
We love each other.
It was a little bit of an adjustment.
The couple says they learned a lot about each other quickly, including just how far to push each other.
We have our wine with our dinner. We're both okay.
Bill has even gotten Iris to join his swimming routine.
He does 8 laps.
That's what keeps me healthy.
Love advice?
Be a risk taker. Not a big risk taker, but I do take them. I mean, just moving in with Bill was a risk. I mean, who knew?
Keep on being optimistic. Keep on striving to do your best. Take advantage of every opportunity.
Annie says keep moving. An active social lifestyle has kept these two nonagenarians happy and healthy. In Freehold, New Jersey, Meg Baker, CBS 2 News.
Be optimistic. Go get them. Take every opportunity, like the opportunity to share this video, because maybe someone you know needs to take a look on the bright side.